Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you guys how to build a custom model component that you can use in your future React projects. It is going to be a very simple yet very beautiful model with some animations that would enhance the overall user experience of the component. So let's not waste any time and hop on to the coding part.
So you guys must have created a new React app. If you face any sort of problem in creating or installing React app, you can refer to my video, React the Complete Guide playlist, lecture 2. So let's create some folders. So inside the SRC folder, create a folder named as components. Inside this components folder, we're gonna store all our custom components basically. So inside the components folder, create another folder called as model. Inside model, create another file called as model.js. Using RAFC snippet, I'm going to create a React function component. So this created a React function based component on its own. So this will be our main model component. So before starting, let us download all the SVGs that we're going to use in our app. So for SVGs, visit heroicons.com. And I need one cancel SVG, this one, and copy the JSX version of it. And come back to our application. Inside the SRC folder, create another folder and call this SVG. And inside SVG, create a file. I'm going to call it as cancel.js. Again, using the RFC snippet, I'm going to create a custom React function component. Then inside this, copy the JSX that we have copied from hero.icons. Okay. Another one that I'm going to use is the tech one, right? So I can search it from here, and this is the one that I'm going to use. Again, copy the JSX part, and then inside the SVG folder, create another file called as tech.js. Similarly, create a React function component and copy the JSX here. So now we have got our SVGs basically. So let's first construct a basic structure of our model, and then we can later on style it according to our needs. Okay? So I'm going to create another div inside this. This will contain my .pick SVG. Just import it. Also, I'm going to import the cancel one also because we don't need it anyhow. Along with the tech one, I'm going to also print a message. Later on, we're going to make it all completely dynamic. So just for the sake of styling, I'm creating these components in this manner. I'm going to create another div tag. Inside this, I'm going to add the cancel. It's easy. I would include all these single div. So this is one part of my this will basically represent this part of my model, the blue part actually. The next thing I'm going to work is on this white part, which will have our success message basically. So let's create that. So I'm going to create another div tag. Inside that, I'm going to add a key tag which will contain a success message. Congratulations. Now we are going to come to the button part. So for button also, I'm going to create custom button components. Like we're using it, we are creating custom model component. I'm going to create one custom button component that I'm going to use throughout the application. So inside the components folder, create another folder and call it button. Inside button, create another file called as button.js. Similarly, using the RFC snippet, I'm going to create this React function component. Inside this, I'm going to add button. Currently I'm hard coding the message that it's gonna show, so I'm just writing it yes. Later we're gonna make it completely dynamic. I'll just include the button. And since I'm gonna add 2 buttons, this is actually the power of components in React. You can create one component, you can use it a number of times and pass values dynamically, so that like the same component can be used to show different values on the screen, okay, according to your conditions. Now after this, coming back to the app.js file, remove all this and just now add the model component. This is our root. Basically, this is the main component, which will consist of all the components, and it's going to display the components on a screen. Now just import the model component. Let's save it. As you can see, we have got our SVGs, our messages, everything on a screen. So let's fix the size of SVGs. For that, what we can do is we can pass the size as props. So you can pass the width, which I'm gonna use as 2 rem, and similarly the height also. It's also going to be 2 rem. Copy this, and I'm gonna use the exact height and width, the cancel one also. Now what you can do is come to this stick.js file, get the props from here. And the width attribute, you can pass the props out of it. So you can see, you can just manage the height and width of the SVG from the component basically. Another way of passing the props is you can pass the prop and you can extract in this manner. So I'm gonna show you both the ways. You can just create a curly braces. You can just get the width, and then to the width attribute, pass it into the file. Now you can see the cross has been fixed to rem. Now let's create a modular CSS file for model, and let's style it a little bit. Okay, so inside the model folder, create a file called as model. This is going to be a CSS file. Now go classes. Modular. So let's give some of the class names to these div tags. This is gonna be our class model container. Then to this I'm gonna give this name as classes.model icon container. So to this particular div tag, I'm gonna give the class name of classes dot model description container, and this will be our class name classes dot model. So now let's create these classes inside this file and add the CSS to it. Go to the first model container, Let me give it a width of 32 rem. And height of 15 rem. Box shadow or the RGB 0.24. This is going to be our box shadow basically. Let the margin be auto. Margin top be algorithm. Do the radius by pixel. I'm gonna add the animation later, but let me add the name of the animation. It will be faded down. And it will be 0.6. Now we added the class of model container class. Now let's style the model icons container. This will be model icons container, and I'm gonna give a display displays, line items center, justify into this space between. Also add the border radius, right, which will be pixel, 5 pixel. Like this will be 5 pixel top, 5 pixel right, then 0 pixel bottom, and 5 pixel top, 5 pixel right, 0 pixel bottom, and 0 pixel. Also give a little bit of padding of 0.5 rem point. Right. You can change these styling according to your need, but this is like will exactly match to what I have created the model. Background color will be, so this is the color I have chosen actually, 1F84C7, and the color for the text will be basically white. What it looks like till now. So see, we have got this slight styling and everything. We're gonna fix it accordingly. Let us style the description continues. I'm gonna give it a minimum height of 8 rem. Also, word wrap to be break word. Font size is gonna be 1.3 rem. Also, the color is going to be RGB. And the padding is going to be 0.5. As you can see, we have like styled our description box. What I need to add another class for styling this particular success like message and the icon also. So for that I need to add a class called as classes dot message container. And let me add this class here. Message container. We give display to the flex. Align item center. That I'm gonna give a pixel. Color is going white. font size will be 1.3 rem and font weight will be 500. And now you can see this particular part has been completed properly, the description part and the header part. Now what left is a button basically. Okay, so for styling the button, I'm gonna create a new button.module.css file inside the button folder. Okay, so let me add a class min width. I'm going to give the min width 7 rem basically, and the border should be none. So that's gonna be white. Adding is going to be 14 pixels, 32 pixels. Line should be center. Text decoration should be none. Font size is going to be 1.2 rem. Font weight is going to be 500 basically. Border radius is going to be 3 pixels, and the cursor should be save this class. And let me add this class in the button file. So in the button file, I'm gonna add this class as class name will be classes dot. We'll just include it. You can see it has been styled. All we need to do is style the button container basically. So we're gonna style it now. This button has been styled and we'll provide proper color and everything to it later on. So what I need to do is come inside this model component and we're gonna style this model button container basically now. Model button. We have a padding of 1 rem, 1.5 rem, 5 rem, 3.5. Display is going to be flex array, line items, filter, and justify content, flex end. And the gap should be 20 pixels. And the border should be 0 pixels, 0 pixels, 5 pixels. Now let's save it. Let's see. Oh, it is 67 actually. It should be 7 units. Yeah. Now the buttons have been fixed. I'll provide the color and all the borders and the text now dynamically. Now we're gonna make our model completely dynamic. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pass props basically and customize it. So let's come to the app.js file. Okay. So now just import the quick icon. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pass this tick svg as a prop. So I can creating an attribute called as icon and passing it. Okay. The next thing what we need to do is this success message. Okay. So I'm creating another message, so another attribute called as message, and I'm gonna pass it as success. Third thing, which should be the dynamic, is this congratulations message basically. Okay, I'm gonna name it as description. Let me just copy it and there it is. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is so let me save this And now I can extract things as props from here. So, what are the things? Icon, message, and description. Okay. So now I can use icon instead of tick. And message, instead of hard coding the message, I can just pass the message prop that I received from the app.js component and the description. Now let's save it, and we can see everything remains the same. Okay, but what benefit we now get because of it? So what we can do is, like, now instead of success, what if I wanted to show a failure model? I just need to change this message and see the success is going to convert to failure one. Okay, so that is what it is. Now your model is completely dynamic, so you can use this same model to represent a failure model or even a success model. Okay, let's go back to the changes. Okay, now similarly I'm gonna make this button component completely dynamic. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, inside the model component only, I'm gonna pass few props to the button. Okay, the first is the text. The text we're gonna represent like on the button. So for the first one, it should be a no. Okay, also I'm gonna pass the styling, also the background color and everything as props, so we can style the buttons customly. Okay, depending upon the kind of button or like the kind of styling you want to provide to a particular button, you can style it dynamically also. And I'm going to pass another prop called as color, and it should be black. Okay, pass the border, it should be 2 pixels solid, and the color coding should be RGBA 9 and 18. Now another thing, I'm going to pass the props to this button component also. This would represent yes. The background color would be #0 F601, and the color of the text should be white only. And the border will be 2 pixels solid #0F006. So now I've passed these attributes, like these props as attributes to the button component, and I'm going to extract them from the inside the button component basically. So what I can do is, I can create this curly braces, and the first prop is the text prop, the second one is the background color, third one is the color, and they can be in any order. The order is not the problem basically. Border. And also what we can do is, like, we can spread the rest props. So even in future, if you want to pass any other props, so this will contain the rest of the props, and if we don't pass any other prop apart from these, then it will be null. Basically, it will have no other props also. So currently I'm gonna use inline styling also, so that you guys can understand how we can use inline styling in React. So how to use inline styling is, we basically pass an object. So background color is passing this as background color, then color as the color, and border as the border. This is how we use inline styling in React. And similar, I can pass the rest props like this. In future, if you want to add more props to our button component, so this will handle all the other props. And now instead of yes, we can pass the text. So now you're gonna see a very big change in the component, and it's gonna feel like magic. Let's see. I'm gonna save it and see. There it is. Everything has changed. Oh, I think I've copied the wrong color code basically. Let me check it out. So it is. Oh, it's 406. Yeah, now it's fine. So as you can see, we have a button component created. Okay. Now I'm gonna provide you like how to manage the state and all, and also I'm gonna add the animations. Okay, so let's first manage the state of like opening and closing the button. So for that, I'm gonna create a use state inside the app.js file. Okay. Just import use state. Now also I'm gonna add this button here also. So as you can see, like this is why I created a custom button component so that I can use that particular button component inside the entire application. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a button and we import it. I'm gonna pass the props. The text will be open model basically. The background color is going to be hash 0 F4061 F4061, right? And the color will be white. It will be 2 pixel solid and will be hash 0F406. Okay. Let's save it and see, we have created a new button. So we have created this button using that same button component. All we did is we passed different props to it. Okay. So now let's style it a little bit. Let's style the app.js file. I'm gonna create a style object. I'm doing it like this because I just want to teach you guys what are the different ways you can use to style a single application. The display is going to be flex. Now when we are styling like this, all the attributes should be camel cased basically in there. And the justify content should be center and the margin top should be and now I'm gonna pass this style block to as inline styling. I'm gonna save it. Basically I want to do this. Should have passed this style attribute to this. Now it's fine, right? Okay, now let's assign the state functionality. So what I want is the model should only open up when this set open model is true. Okay, so currently it is false. So since open model is true, I want to show this component. So I've used this condition. Okay, now you can see this model is not open. Now I want to click on this button, and every time I click on this button, the model should open up. Okay, so I'm gonna pass another prop. Basically, it's gonna be on click prop. Okay, what's gonna be doing is you click on it, it will set the set open model function. Now, and see, I'm not passing this on click. I'm not extracting this on click prop again because this rest parameter which I'm spreading out here is managing all these props that are gonna pass in future. Okay, so now when I click on this, the model appears. So every time now I have to refresh basically. I have to manage other states and then it will work properly. So now when I click on this button, the model opens up. Now what I want to do is I want to click on this cross button and close the model basically. I'm gonna pass this so since this cross button is here, so I'm gonna pass this set open model as prop. And inside the model component, I'm going to extract set open model. And to this div, I'm going to add the on-click event listener, which will set the open model. Now what we'll do this, like when we click on it, the model will close. When we click on this open model button, the model will open up. When we click on this close button, the model will close. Also, one thing that I want to do is, like, I want the cursor to be a pointer. Okay, and it is on the cross button. So I'm gonna pass inline styling basically. You can like create custom classes. Basically, you can create different classes for these. I'm just doing it like this. Okay, that's not the option. So now see, it's working as a pointer basically. That basically enhances the user experience. Okay. Similarly, you can pass different kinds of states that you want to handle through these buttons. Currently, I'm not handling any states with these buttons, so I'm not passing anything to these. Otherwise, you can pass these states to these buttons as props, and then you can handle them. Okay. Now you can see here we are not using the tick here, so we can just remove it because we are passing the tick icon as props from here. So we have imported the tick SVG in the app.js file, basically in the parent component, and then passing it to the model as a prop, okay, as the icon prop. Now the last thing which is left is the animation part. This animation is basically going to improve the user experience and take it to a next level. So as you know, in order to add animations, we need to add keyframes. So the keyframe. And the name of animation which I used was fading down. Keyframes. Oh, so, fade down. What I want to do is add 0% basically. So the opacity should be 0, and the translate time -50. Okay, and at 100%, what I want to do is opacity be 1, transform should be translate by 0. Let's save it, and you're going to see a beautiful animation. It's gonna change the experience to a much better one. So let me show you. I'm gonna click it and see that beautiful animation. Let me show you again.
I hope you all must have liked this video and you can use this model in your React projects. Also, you can style it according to your preferences and take it to the next level. I'll also provide the link to this code so that you can copy the code from there in case you face any problem. We'll be creating more components like this in future. Till then, bye bye, take care.